How to make more sales specifically in Q4. That is October, November, and December. This historically is the quarter that I always talk about through the entirety of the year as being the most opportunistic. And it is because of the three things that we're going to talk about in this video. We're going to talk about the messaging, we're going to talk about the offers, and we're also going to talk about the ads that specifically work in Q4 specifically. And if you've got no idea who I am, I'm Shoney Mac, and over the last decade, or just over a decade now, I have helped almost 3,000 coaches and consultants generate more clients online. And in this video, you're going to see exactly how we've done it over the last decade in Q4 specifically by adjusting the messaging that our clients use throughout everything from sales calls through to their daily content, through to their ads, also the offers that they use to overcome objections and maximize sales during these specific months, which makes it more opportunistic and more sales can happen in Q4 than any other quarter of the year. And then also the specific ads that our clients are using to maximize their sales in this specific time of year. But without further ado, let's talk about messaging at this time of year. And I've actually had to re-record this bit because, of course, Ryan isn't here, who comes out once every 4 months to record content with us. And I just really wanted to put this video together. So, of course, a bit rusty and ended up messing up the camera. But anyway, so the rest of the video seems to be okay. Anyway, the messaging for Q4 specifically. So something that like really commonly comes up. I hear this all the time in all different types of industries. There's only so many ways that you can talk about X. There's only so many times you can mention Y, whatever that thing is that is like the most common thing to talk about in your space. And probably no more commonly is in the health and fitness space, where people go, oh, there's only so many ways that you can talk about a calorie deficit. But the thing is that sure, repeating the same thing over and over and over again becomes a little bit monotonous. But the thing that keeps it, number one, more relevant, so that you can grab attention and hold attention without having to change your tune on what works and what doesn't. While secondly, improving or increasing the level of prioritization of the thing that you do with the person who's receiving it really comes down to the seasonality. So your ability to take that subject point and talk about it in the very moment that the person is in on the other side, on the receiving end, okay? And so let's talk about, calorie deficit. So if you were just to talk about, if you want to lose weight, the number one thing you need to consider is energy balance and being in a calorie deficit. If you're just going to say that over and over and over again, the same person that's heard you say it 13 times before probably will zone out. However, in Q4, if you were to say something along the lines of how to lose weight even around Christmas parties, Christmas dinners, and everything in between that's fun and we love around Christmas, then that allows it to bring in seasonality, to make it specific to the very moment that they're in. So one of the key things that you can do with your messaging, and this touches everything, this is not just like your daily content. I'm talking about your ads. I'm talking about the way that you present on a live masterclass that makes it relevant to the very moment they're in at this certain time of year. I'm talking about the emails that you send. I'm talking about your daily content, of course, as well, but I'm also talking about your organic offers that you do once a month or once every 6 weeks also. Literally, it touches everything. Your ability to take the subject point and the things that your demographic need to know about how to get to a result, to make them not just problem aware, but solution aware as well. If you have to talk about the same things commonly, then bringing in seasonality is one of the most powerful ways that you can grab attention, hold attention, and most importantly, increase the point in which it's in their priorities list. Because what it is that you do at any given time can be first on their priority list, third on their priority list, 18th on their priority list. And on a daily basis, this can change. Okay, so this is not just, in the month of January, people want to get in shape more, right? And then there's certain months when people don't want to get in shape as much. That's not really the case. The person who wants to lose weight 365 days of the year. Where it lands in their priorities is the thing that changes. And the thing that helps you get it from 6 to number 2 or number 1 is your ability to grab their attention and present now as the perfect time to take action, which happens through grabbing attention through the messaging just like we spoke about. But there's a second thing with your messaging here that is even more powerful at this time of year, and it is future pacing. And with what I just said there about grabbing attention and turning it from, hey, this is, eighth on the list right now, to this is number 2 or number 1 on the list, so that not only can you turn somebody who's just browsing, reading your email, on your socials, you ended up in their newsfeed, they're watching your story, to somebody that goes, they're totally right, I need to apply now. And they're coming in with really high intent, and you've already overcome the objection of the time of year. I often say to people, why do you say that objection handling is a sales training thing? The best time to deal with objections is before the call has even occurred. If you don't deal with the objections before the call occurs, then you're probably dealing with a very low amount of leads right now. And if you want to increase your lead flow, overcome objections and you'll get more leads. You'll get more booked calls. And guess what? A higher percentage will show up. A higher percentage will buy from you on the call as well. So dealing with objections on the front end before calls is massive. But one of the most powerful things that you can do with your messaging is future pacing at any time of year. But it's quite difficult to say, imagine 90 days from now, you can either be in this position or this position. Which would you rather? Is basically what future pacing is, right? Getting them to literally imagine themselves 8 weeks from now, 9 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now. But it's quite difficult when you just say 90 days from now, because it's like, well, that's a time frame. I do want to be in that position rather than that position, but it's kind of like hard to really picture themselves. But it's really easy to paint a vivid picture around Christmas and New Year. And so utilizing the angle of either where they want to be by the end of the year or where they want to be by Christmas is an amazing way to adjust your messaging and to bring future pacing into everything. And again, this touches everything. It's in your ad copy, it's in your daily content, it's in your organic offers, it's in your emails. Utilizing future pacing in this way is really, really powerful. And then probably the final thing here is 2026 goal setting. So bringing that into your messaging, especially as you go into the month of December. Some people will set their goals early, some people will set their goals on New Year's Eve, and some people will probably do it at the start of January. But just bringing in the topic of goal setting is going to get people to think about their goals for 2026. And if you can get them thinking about their goals for 2026, it can increase their readiness to take action. Again, people think this is related to sales, but what is the first part of actually making a sale? Somebody has to make a conscious decision and they have to take an action towards that sale occurring. If you have a low ticket offer, they have to click the link in your bio to go to the sales page. If you get people to message you and you sell through the DMs, you have to get that message. If you sell through sales calls, one way or another, you have to get them to book in for that call. Okay, so when you take that into account, you have to get them thinking about where they want to be in 2026 in the month of December, not in January. Okay, so messaging, albeit that you're probably like, this is the most boring part of the video. Hopefully you haven't tuned out yet, because I'm about to share with you 4 incredible offers. I don't think I've ever shared this outside of our mentorship before, but these absolutely kill inside the private coaching and inside Systems of Scale in Q4. These 4 offers absolutely kill. But messaging is so important. Messaging is important for these offers to work better. It amplifies your opportunity to generate leads in October, November, and December by getting messaging right with utilizing all of these tools. And this is why I always talk about Q4 as being one of the biggest opportunities. But it's only the biggest opportunity if you know how to nail Q4. Q4 comes down to messaging, it comes down to offers, and it comes down to maximizing your ads. How to adjust your ads is most important here, which we'll also get to in a second. And so number 1 is the rest of the year free. It is really, really powerful in the month of December. We, about 5 years ago at a live event, and I think we did this in the month of November. I had, 100 clients in the room or something. And I was going through some things that they could do to maximize sales before the end of the year. Very, very topical and a bit like this video, right? And I remember back then, thinking like, what's the absolute best offer that somebody could use to overcome the objections? I was like, well, just completely remove the objection and do the rest of the year free if they sign up for, if you've got a 90-day program, for the first 90 days of 2026, right? And there's a couple of interesting things that happen there. You completely overcome the objection. Second of all, every single day they don't take action, they are literally losing opportunity to work with you, because it's going to be the same price regardless whether they sign up today or whether they sign up tomorrow or 7 days from now. But 7 days from now, they'll have lost 7 days of working with you. if you get what I mean there. So this is a really, really powerful one because it does completely overcome the objection of Christmas, New Year, etc. being an issue or a reason for inaction. So you can say, hey, even if you partially use this between now and December 31st, you would literally move closer towards your goal. You will be well averse to the way that we do things. You'll be like in a great routine with everything. And then going into January 1st, you're going to be absolutely flying from there. And we're not going to be setting things up on January 1st. You're already going to be in a routine and you're already going to know how to do everything with us. So this is an opportunity for you to get bonus time that you would never get at any other time of the year. This is literally just for December. And simultaneously, you're literally going to get more out of the following 90 days. When you're raring to go going into January 2026 goals, you're going to be so ready to rock and roll and you're going to be able to hit the ground running from day one. You're already going to be in momentum. That's your way of presenting this offer, and it's a really amazing way to overcome that objection. So rest of the year free is a really, really powerful one. And if you're not going to do this solely in the month of December, because you can technically do this in November and you can amplify the offer and then maybe get even more people saying yes. And if you've got a longer term offer, if you've got a 6-month offer or a 12-month offer, then bolting on a month and a half or 2 months for free really isn't that big of a deal. Like, to get that sale over the line that otherwise wouldn't have come on board is amazing. So you definitely could use this in November as well. But going into December, position it as December free, we found is more powerful for some reason than the rest of the year free. I think it's because some people almost like catch themselves, especially if they're quite an aware crowd, where if you say, and you're going to get the rest of the year free, if you're already on like December 14th, I think it dilutes the value. But I think saying, and we'll bolt on the rest of December for free just feels very much like you're meeting them, where they are. And if they're quite quick with things, then they don't feel like you're trying to do any sort of like pulling the wool over the eyes or whatever it may be. So the rest of December free is the phrasing that we find works better in the month of December. If you're going to do this at the very start of December or even into November, then the rest of the year free is a really, really powerful concept. And I've got 2 more here. The third one overall, so the third offer, is a certain amount of days or a certain amount of weeks till Christmas. And so especially going into October, this is a really, really powerful one where let's just say that you've got like a 90-day program, right? And it's, less than 90 days until Christmas. Well, you could do something like, you could do an offer where you say, it's usually 90 days to work with us minimum, but we actually have something going this week where you can actually come in for 8 weeks till Christmas. It's an accelerator version of our one-to-one program. This is how it works. It's 2/3 of the time for 2/3 of the price. So realistically, it's the same price, but you're saving a third, and there's a lower commitment level. And of course, it gives you the opportunity after Christmas to either walk away with your great results or to renew with us going into 2026 to really put the foot on the gas towards even further and chunkier goals. So you can present it like that. It's a really, really good way to overcome the objection, once again, of Christmas and New Year being a reason for inaction. The rest of the year free, even if they're getting that deal, sometimes can actually feel like, well, I'm still technically paying. I know it's bonus time, but I'm still technically paying now, and I don't feel like I'm going to get the most out of that time. So this is a way of downselling. You can actually couple these together. You can go for the rest of the year free, and then you can downsell people into the other one. 8 weeks till Christmas or 6 weeks to Christmas or whatever it may be. And by the way, if you're the type of person that's like, but like I don't want to sell an 8-week program when like I could sell a 90-day program. And I mean, one thing there is, but this can be the difference between the person not signing up whatsoever and you getting an 8-week client at your price point. But I might add as well, like if your price point is for easiness of numbers, £999 for 3 months, then the 8-week version is 666, right? So it's like 2/3 of the price. You aren't devaluing it and making it a £200 program. It's it's 2/3. And by the way, just as an example here, so Jason, who works with us, who I think is just going into his 5th year with us. I think that's what he just renewed an annual again, and I think he just renewed for, I think it's his 5th year with us now. Which has been amazing. I love working with him. But so he's got a 12-month program, right? So not a 90 days, not a 6 month. He's got a 12-month program in the health and fitness space, by the way, as well. Sells it really successfully, gets pay in fulls, and sells it at a very premium price as well, right? However, something that he does once or twice a year is a 30-day offer, right? And it's not 30 days for £97 or something like that. It's 30 days for £333, okay? So it's still premium. And you might say, like, in that type of scenario, is I do 12-month programs. I'm not doing a 30-day this. I'm not doing a 30-day that. Here's the thing. Every single time he does it, it goes absolutely bananas. He gets lots of people on board. It's still chunky payments, 333 each, so they compound pretty nicely. But here's the thing. Almost always when he does it, I think once it was just below it, but it was still an amazing one. Every other time has been over 70% converted into longer term clients. I don't know if it was always 12 months, but I know that more than 70% renewed on the other side. So this is like an amazing way to say, hey, it would usually be 12 months. If you really want to have the full experience at a 30-day version, come in here, send me a message, whatever it may be. It can be sold without sales calls, where everything else that he sells is with sales calls. There's so many reasons to utilize strategies like this. So if you're the type of person who's like rolling your eyes and saying, oh, well, I would never do like a 6-week offer or an 8-week offer, because what I do is a 6-month program and it's premium and I need the most this and I need the most that. Well, hey, some people are going to react really well to, hey, at any other time of the year, it would be 6 months, but you can come in for 6 weeks. And it's an amazing way to lower the barrier to entry, get tons of new clients on board, cash collect up front a lot of money. And then 6 weeks from now, you go into December and you know you've got all of these renewals that are coming up as well, which is a really, really exciting thing to be able to walk into December knowing, hey, before I've even walked into December, I actually have, 18 people up for renewal from that offer that I did back in October that absolutely killed. So yeah, food for thought there as well. And then the final offer that works really well is 14-day paid challenges in the month of December. So a whole bunch of clients that we work with do this in loads of different spaces: health and fitness, business coaching, property coaching, and all sorts. 14-day paid challenge, and it usually runs on the first Monday of December for 2 weeks, and then that closes shortly before Christmas, right? So it's basically a good opportunity to get people in that moment to come in paid. So this is not like if you did a 14-day free challenge, 14-day free challenges almost never work because there's drop-off every single day with a free challenge. With a paid challenge, people pay attention because they paid on the front end. And so with a 14-day challenge, you tend to find that people will stay very, very engaged. And right before Christmas, you will not believe the amount of people that will take action on a really, really solid offer for 2026. So you have to position the offer as 2026 with the bonus time, just like we talked about as well. But it works tremendously well. 14-day challenges don't convert better at any other time of the year. For some reason, the start of December, it works amazingly well. Second of all, the conversion from the pitch on a 14-day challenge almost never converts as well as that like week before Christmas. Jen and Emma inside the program, I forget if it was 28 or 38, one of those, but this is big anyway. They ran, I think it was their first 14-day paid challenge that they did in December, and they're in the weight loss space specifically, and they pitched the way that the dates worked, 23rd of December. This was like 3 years ago or 4 years ago, and it was either 28 or 38 people signed up for one-to-one coaching. So one-to-one coaching in the weight loss space. Who's thinking about weight loss 2 days out from Christmas of all times? I mean, a more challenging topic, please bring it to me in the comments. In fact, actually, that would be quite funny. Tell me in the comments what would be more difficult to sell 2 days out from Christmas than weight loss. But anyway, either 28 or 38 people signed up for their one-to-one most premium offer for coaching as a 90-day package, and they did it without sales calls, where they always sold with sales calls beforehand. That's how well it sells when people have paid attention and worked with you for 14 days. It's the same thing as I said with Jace as well. Doing 30 days with somebody where they've paid and they pay attention and they do things across the 30 days, but they know they've scratched the surface and there's a lot more to do. It's an amazing way to get people to renew on the other side. So these shorter time frames, don't devalue them and think that they're like anything other than just a great way to get people to experience what it's like to pay money to you, have a really positive experience, and then present what the next level would look like. It's a great way to do things. Okay, now going into the ads for Q4. So there's a few things to think about here. In terms of the actual ad strategies that work in Q4, there's a couple that I would say are Q4 specific that work really well, such as, you know, the paid 14-day challenge. I literally just ran through there. But the funny thing is that in Q4, especially in November and December, in terms of which ad strategies work really well and which ones don't, it typically comes down to it being the same strategies that were right for you at any other time of the year. So we've got 37 different ad frameworks. I actually don't think it's as sexy as when we had 36. So it's actually, I might actually kill one so I can go back to saying 36. I think it's a nicer number. But we've got 37 different ad frameworks now. And we cherry pick the perfect ones for the perfect coach. It comes down to them as a person. We wouldn't get somebody that hates live delivery to do a live masterclass or a 5-day challenge. It comes down to your niche as well. We wouldn't get an audience who consider themselves to be really busy to have to be at a specific place at a specific time. If it was something that is very privatized, we wouldn't get people to be in a room where they can see other people and other people are looking at them. We would have an ad strategy that was more privatized and allows people to seek out help on their own. All of these things come down a price point. Is it a group program? Is it one-to-one? So many different things. Do you sell with sales calls? Do you not sell? All of those things come down to which is going to be right for you. Now, specifically making the most of Q4, the biggest thing here, other than, of course, if you're going to do something like a 14-day challenge and you don't usually do that, is seasonality of your messaging. And so if, for instance, we've got 3 different lead magnet systems personally inside the private coaching. And if you want to know about the private coaching, how it works, literally you can click below and it's all on one page. It's really simple. Or you can book a 30-minute ad strategy session down below. And that's really simple as well. And then you can jump on a call with us. I'm on that calendar, by the way. So it's me, Jack, and Jen. So, you know, a third of the calls I take. So if you want to bounce on building out an ad strategy for 30 minutes that is specific to you, which of our 37 different ad frameworks is the best fit for you, we'll literally identify that after about 10 minutes of getting to know you and your business and what it is you're looking to do, and we'll map that out with you on the other side. But anyway, with the ad strategy that's best for you, it really comes down to the seasonality of being able to adjust your images, videos, and copy so that it is specific to that time frame. So if I say the entry offer lead magnet that I just mentioned there, so one of our 3 different lead magnet systems, in that scenario, making it specific to the time of year, it doesn't, the lead magnet itself does not need to change, just the way that you position it. And so if it was, 7 ways to get more clients in the next 90 days is the name of my lead magnet. It isn't, by the way, but if it was, then it would be something like 90 ways to get more clients before the end of the year. See, now it's more seasonal. Now it's more specific. Now it feels more opportunistic. Now it feels more ready. And especially if somebody is like nervous about the end of the year, now it's more topical. It's speaking more to that person who is higher intent, looking for those solutions. And so it really is as simple as that. If you do a 5-day challenge and it's like the 5-day weight loss challenge or something like that, like something really simple, this could be like the 5-day October reset 5-day challenge, or the October reset 5-day weight loss challenge, or it could be the 5-day get ready for Christmas weight loss challenge. Do you see how we could throw something in there that just makes it topical based upon whether it is October, November, or December that you're running your 5-day challenge? Just that little small addition. Like I've got a video on this channel where I speak about how we were able to massively reduce the lead cost of so many clients that we were working with, or are working with. Even the example that I used back then, I think it was at the start of this year or the start of the year before, she's still working with us now, and that'll be her 3rd or 4th year with us. But one thing that I told her to put in January, in 2025, I'll be saying to her in January of 2026, go into your ad copy right now and throw in these two words, if it's considered a word, in 2026. So if you're looking to grow your property business, then da 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 da. Instead, it'll be if you're looking to grow your property business in 2026, da 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 da. Okay, so just like this video right here, without going too off topic here, this is why our clients stick with us for so long, and we've got so many people that have been working with us for 5 years plus now, is because it's not just, hey, set up ads and go. It's like there's so many things. Well, we don't just help with ads, but anyway, there's so many specific things on a month-to-month basis. We now do a monthly mastermind every month, literally just walking through the biggest opportunities for the next 30 days. So it's like, what are the biggest opportunities in August, in September, in October, in November, in December? And we do that at the end of every month. So we're talking about the objections to expect, how to overcome the objections, how to adjust your offers to get more yeses, what you should be putting into your content. Here's 3 things to consider with your ads. Like, these are the really important things, which is why I also think that this video was really important to share on YouTube as well, so that it will reach more people outside of the program. But anyway, the biggest thing that you can do with your ads is take the things that already worked and make them seasonal. If you don't already have an ad strategy that you can turn on and off like a tap, that you can use 12 months of the year, then that is the thing that's holding you back from scaling quickly. And again, 30-minute ad strategy session down below, 100%. I'll put it as a pinned comment, in fact, in the comments. But that'll be 30 minutes that it'll be the best 30 minutes that you spend on your business all year for 2026. If you solve that problem, having an ad strategy that not only is profitable but can be turned on and off like a tap, you can scale it as much as you want. As in, like, if you spend $1,000 and you get $7,000 back, it really is up to you. How fast do you want to scale? Do you want to spend $2,000 a month and get like roughly 14 back? It'll probably be like 13 or 12 because scaling, diminishing returns. But when you have that system that you can turn on and off like a tap, the reason that people don't scale at any time of the year is because, number one, they're limited outside of ads. So, if they're not utilizing ads, then there's only so many messages they can send. There's only so many social media posts they can do. There's only so many times they can go back to the same person that they've messaged 14 times and has never responded to them, and hope that on the 15th message, finally, this is going to be the time that the person replies back and says, yep, you were right to message me for a 15th time because I'm now ready for coaching. There's only so many times you can do those things. If you're utilizing advertising, however, then the thing that will stop you scaling is you setting up an ad strategy, getting it profitable, and going, that was great, what else can I do? The most successful people that we work with typically have 2 ad strategies, and both of them are like seriously scaled. And our whole reason for working together moving forward is nothing more than optimizing and scaling the systems that we already have set up and are already rocking and rolling. So that is like our goal with everybody when it comes to the advertising side, is how quickly can we get the first ad system set up, which is usually within 72 hours. How quickly can we get it profitable, which very often is within the first few days or the first week. Leads will come in the first day. I always say to people, like, I would give you a full refund on your entire investment if you didn't have leads within the first 24 hours. It is mind-blowing to me when I jump onto 30-minute ad strategy sessions and people say they worked with X, Y, and Z, or they were with an agency and paid multi-4 figures a month, and they're like, I didn't get any leads. And I'm like, well, no, you did, but like, what was the actual numbers? No, I literally, like, we ran ads for like 6 weeks and we didn't get any leads. I'm like, I actually have no idea how that is even possible. Like, I could set up the worst ad of all time and get leads. So when you set up good ads, the assumption is you're going to get a lot of leads, high intent at a low cost. But anyway, conversation for another time. Anyway, so having the right ad system that is evergreen 12 months of the year is the right thing. Adjusting it with seasonality is the way that you make it absolutely kill in Q4 in a way in which it didn't kill the rest of the year. So even if it was like a 30x return, you might have the opportunity to make it a 40 or a 50x return in Q4 by using seasonality. The seasons are so strong in Q4, because we have Halloween, because we have Black Friday, because we have in the US we have Thanksgiving, well, all over the world we have Christmas and we have New Year and all of those things. There's so many opportunities there to tie seasonality into your ad messaging to drastically lower the cost per lead, increase where they see this in their priorities, and so that their level of intent is much higher and they're more likely to inquire, book a call, and buy your program on the other side as well. And there is a lot more that we could talk about with regards to ads and ad timing. It was something on the Q4 workshop that I actually ran. Maybe you attended it. The Q4 workshop where I went into detail on ads for Q4 and different things that you could do with messaging and things. I was talking about how there's times where CPM, so cost per 1,000 views, to get in front of 1,000 people, how much does it cost? There's certain weeks and months in Q4 in which it's at its lowest of the year, almost the lowest of the year. And then there's certain weeks like the 2 or 3 weeks or 2.5 weeks mainly running up to Black Friday, and then somewhere in the region of about 5 to 7 days afterwards where it's not as high as in the run up to Black Friday, but it's still quite amplified. And there's a couple of things to think about there in terms of when to put the foot on the gas, when to take the foot off. And this is if you're almost, I would say, like getting started with ads, which would be like sub 2K a month of ad spend, right? And probably your business is sub 10K per month. If you're seriously scaling, like, you know, we've got people inside Systems to Scale that are doing about $250,000 a month inside their coaching business. In that case, I will be helping them make sense of how to ride the wave of things like those weeks where things are amplified, where it's like for them, like if you're getting, and some of their ad campaigns are running at like a 25, 30, 35x return. In that scenario, I would rather still have the ads running at the same level or even amplifying the ad spend and get, let's say, a 20x return than, or even like, let's say if it came all the way down to a 10x return, I would still want to have the ads running. I wouldn't just romanticize in my mind, okay, well, the ads aren't going to be as profitable in those 3 weeks, so I'm going to turn them off. Yeah, but you're still like 10x in every dollar that you put in. So for every 1,000 I put in, I get 10 back. And so sure, it might not be put 1,000 in and get 25 back, but I would put in $1,000 and put 10 back happily every day. So it's ways of thinking more than anything, and especially when you're getting started with ads and you're in the optimization stage, if you're getting like a 7x return rather than like a 20x return on your ads, or you know, a 4x return, which is still good. Like you'd go to prison if you'd like said to somebody like that this is an investment opportunity where you put £1 in and then within 7 days you get 4 back. If that was in the stock market, that person would be in prison. So when you think about it like that, a 4x return is still tremendous. But if you're getting a 4x return and then the cost to advertise in front of people goes up very significantly for a 3-week period, in that case it might be better to pull it back a little bit. But if you're getting like a 15 or a 20x return on your ad spend, hey, sacrifice and make it a 10x return, but ride that wave. Don't turn your ads off. Don't lose the optimization that's occurred in that campaign already. Ride the wave, get your 10x return, and keep going. But anyway, hopefully this has been valuable to you. If it has been, then please let me know in the comments. As always, YouTube loves it. I love it. So comment down below, let me know. And if this has been really valuable to you as well, then let me know if I should do this as we run into every quarter. So I do this every month for our clients, but I would happily do this every quarter for you guys as well, and do a session on, you know, how to maximize the first 90 days of 2026, for instance. And other than that, if you want some additional free resources and things, I've got free ad templates and all sorts down in the description. There's also the 30-minute ad strategy session if you want to jump on with myself, Jack, or Jen, who, by the way, all run their own businesses at multi-six figures and above. All run ads, all have been coached. I haven't coached myself, but I did coach myself actually, but still, in their case, they all were working with me for 3 years or more before they came into any type of coaching. They aren't just like sales team. This is literally like you're going to get to speak to my coaches who are coaching people on a daily basis. So if you want to grab 30 minutes with us, then you can do that down below. Other than that, I'll see you in the next video.